Well, hello again. Here is part 2 of 4 from the Painting with Oils art instruction book. This video is about the skies, and I'm looking forward to the exercise. So let's get started. But before that, there are 2 more parts from the Painting with Oils instruction book that are coming. Once we've got all the 4 parts done, we'll assemble all of those ideas into one finished painting. I'm using my home-built Stay Wet palette, which is just a food tray that comes with a nice airtight cover. Have a look in the description below and click on the link, How I Make a Stay Wet Palette. I add a piece of paper towel and lightly spray it with some moisture. Over the paper towel, I add a piece of parchment paper. That will be my palette. Here are the colors that we use for the first layer. First of all, we take the palette, and I've already started, but we put a little bit of blue in there. Now that's Winsor Blue, so you got to be careful with that stuff. It's very powerful, goes a long way. Next color, yellow ochre. I'm going to try and space these out a little bit because I need some fairly large mixing area through here. Oh. Don't like it when that happens. Okay. Now a little bit of crimson. Just a touch of crimson. Crimson's kind of a red, but it's got a slightly blue tinge to it. So in terms of the reds, it's actually quite cool. And lots of titanium white. Big chunk of it there. There we go. All right, now we'll take a damp number 1/2" brush, flat. I like these for mixing. So first thing we're going to do, I think, is just take a little bit of the blue, put it out here. Now that is huge. And I need some paper towel. Right there, and we'll clean out the brush. Now this is the first time I've mixed this color, so we'll see how it goes. So we'll add some yellow ochre to it, which will probably turn it a kind of greeny color, like that. And we'll add some crimson to it, which turns it to a grayish color. And add a bit more blue. And then I'm going to add, I'm just cleaning off the surplus on this. I'm going to add some white to the edge there. That's almost the color I want. In fact, it's very close. So I'm going to take, so that's the close color. I just a touch more blue in it, just to blue it up a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Here are the colors that we use for the second layer. Canvas panel, as you can see. But I've taped it off so I can have some nice clean edges, just sort of thing that I like to do. So I'm going to put the paint on this side, and I take my mixture, and I'm just going to, oh yeah, that's the color I want. Just put it in like so. Notice I'm scrubbing there. Oh, I got some paint. A little bit too warm, but we're going to let that go. Okay? So I'm going to clean off my brush like that, and take a little dab of each color, put it there. Little dab of the ochre, put it there. And I should probably use 3 or 4 brushes. The crimson can go right there. And the white, we'll just assume the canvas does it. So already having done and mixed these colors. The next one is essentially white and yellow ochre. So get a clean brush here. And we'll just use the same mixing tray for this. So we're going to grab a big hunk of white here and a touch of yellow ochre. And actually I'm going to put a bit more white in there. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so we'll just add this in here. There we go. Oh, I didn't want to yellow ochre. I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow ochre to it. There we go. So let's just put the little bit of more white at the top. All right, so scumble that in there. Okay, that was a fairly simple one to do. Clean the brush off again, and we'll just put a little dab of yellow ochre right there. Cool. That's done. We'll just assume that the white's there with the canvas color. Well, continuing right along, we're going to go on to essentially the third layer, which uses again all of these colors. So we've already got the light one. I'm going to add a little bit more blue to that, as you can see, and a lot more ochre to it. I like that. A bit more ochre. And I'm going to take a little touch of blue and put it in there. I'm not quite there yet, so I'm going to add a lot more ochre. Touch of red. Another touch of red. And a lot more white. I'll do that off to the edge there. That's what I'm looking for. And actually a bit more white than that. Okay, so we're going to add that in here like that. All right, I think that kind of does it. I'm going to add a little bit more blue in there towards the bottom of that. Oh yeah, I want to dull that down a bit. Just scumble it in, right? Well, scumble, just sort of squish it in there. A little bit of bluey kind of bottom on it. I'm going to just add a little bit more blue. There we go. Okay, so that, those colors are essentially the same as the top one. So just put a little bit of blue right there. A little bit of ochre right there. And a little bit of crimson right there. And we'll assume the white for the, well, why don't we just try that and see what it looks like. Let's just put some white in there. Does that go in there? Yeah, that works. I'll put one up. Ooh, I got too much on the brush there. Put one right there and one right there. Okay, so we're moving right along. If you're still with me and have gotten value from this video, give it a thumbs up. It very much helps the channel and it lets me know what kind of content you like so that I can make more of it. And if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe and notification buttons. We've got the fourth and fifth layer to do. Now, interestingly enough, fourth layer uses exactly the same colors as before. What did I do with my brush? Put it in there. It's not clean. Oh, I've got two brushes in. I think I'm going to use a couple of brushes. It's taking too long to do this stuff. Okay, so using exactly the same colors. It's a little grayer color, so just adding a touch of blue to that. All right, a touch of red to that. A little bit more red. A little bit more red. Touch more red. There we go. That's really grayed that color up. So we'll add some white to the top. There we go. There. We'll push that in there, like so. Scumble it in. It's not going to mix for it. We'll break that up a bit. And then we'll add some more red to the bottom of that, and it gets a little bit darker. So we add a little bit more blue to it, a little bit more red, a lot more crimson, a little more. I think we got it darker. Yes, that's better. Get it in there like so. Essentially the same color, so we just, a bit difficult. If I were working faster, I could sort of smooth those out a bit, right? Fingers does it really well. Right, so you see the gradation down. Hi, I opened a Buy Me Coffee page. This is a great way to show your appreciation for what I do. There is no sign up to do. Just hit the coffee button and with a credit card, buy me a $3 coffee. It's that simple. I will probably use it for a coffee. However, if I get enough appreciation, I will buy more painting supplies and better equipment to do videos. It's a one-time support app. If you want to support me more regularly, that's possible and would be awesome. I'll leave a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description below. Many thanks. All right, last color, using the same, going back to just the red or the crimson. I'm actually going to go back to one of the original colors. There's no blue in this, so we're going to go up here, and go in there, and add a big hunk of white to that. Still, will come in there. A little bit more white at the top. I'm going to clean the brush off a bit and push it in there. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Careful not to, and we'll just get some white in there. And then I'm going to use my fingers to sort of soften the edges there. Now remember, this is acrylic. So, again, we're using white, so we'll grab a bit of that, put it up top there. Oh, that's wet. Should have dried my brush off. A little bit of white in there. And a little bit of white down here. Clean that off. We'll add some ochre in here. That's what that is, right there. Okay, clean the brush off again. And then we go back and add the blue. Yes. Put the blue here. Ochre, I better grab some more and put it in there. Don't need much. Clean off the brush. It's always good to have a like a paper towel close by so that you can just clean it up. And I tend to fold the thing so that I get more use out of it. All right, got to clean that some more. I think that does it. So we need the ochre, and then the red. Right there. Okay. That actually concludes. Whoa, you got a bit more white to put in here. Right, grab the white somewhere. Grab a big hunk of white, and that goes right there. Here are the finished samples for the cloud colors. I've taken the trouble to put horizontal black lines between each of the 5 mixes. I've also numbered them 1 through 5 and put little extra dabs of the colors for each mixture. This is a very important reference piece to keep for future paintings we're going to do in the future. I'm finding it great fun to work through exercises in my art instruction books. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you have a comment, I would welcome it. By the way, if you have a favorite art book that you'd like to share with me, by all means, send me a comment. Hit the bell to get notice of upcoming videos. Be sure to pass this video on to your friends, and please subscribe.